Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Night Luke Live Online on Wednesday, because I forgot that yesterday was Tuesday. See these white hairs? That's my explanation. I have none other. Today, we are going to Luke, pericope, chapter 17, verses 1 through 10. Are you ready? Oh, this is Father James DiLuzio in my civilian clothes and the Paulist Fathers Library. In case this is your first time, welcome to Luke Live Online. So, here we go. Jesus said to his disciples, "Things that cause sin will inevitably occur, but woe to that person through whom sins occur. It would be better for that person if a millstone were put around his neck and he were thrown into the sea than to cause one of these little ones to sin. Be on your guard. If your brother or sister sins, forgive them. And if they sin 7 times in 7 days and return 7 times and say to you, 'I am sorry,' you should forgive them." Then the disciples said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." And he said to them, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry bush, 'Be uprooted and be planted into the sea,' and it will obey you. Who among you would say to your servant who had just come in from plowing in the field, 'Come, take your seat and eat with me'? No. Would you not rather say, 'Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink'? You, servant, may eat and drink when I am finished. Are you grateful to that servant who has done what was commanded of him or her? Indeed, so it must be with you. After you have done all that you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do.'" There you go. So there's a lot to chew on, again, with the words of Jesus. The centrality of forgiveness in the Christian faith and also in the Jewish faith, because they just had Yom Kippur and they talked a lot about atonement. And Jesus makes this emphatic. So, what do we do when it's so hard? Well, the first is to remember that we're not the only ones who's ever been sinned against. The next thing is to remember that Jesus was sinned against, and he forgave them from the cross. The next thing to remember is we are not Jesus, so it's harder work for us than it was for Jesus, and that we have to go through a series. The first is finding some way, starting with God and someone we can trust, and just vent our anger and our hurt and our insecurities, everything. Why are we so offended? Because the truth is, when people offend us, it's more about the pain that they have than it really is about us. This world is not about you and me, but we have to remember that constantly, because there's something in us that thinks it is. All right, so find a way to express the anger. Pray the Psalms. I'm angry. Why did you let this person get away with it? I look like a fool in the eyes of the world for taking this gump from him or her or whoever. Of course. And now what am I going to do with it? So I find I like these steps. No, I've said this to you before, but we're all dense, myself included. I have to keep repeating, and reminding myself of this. Share the anger with God and someone we can trust, but don't get them to take your part. In most cases. I mean, unless this is something civil and it involves, yes. Okay,